My name is David Wiley, and I'm a professor of health education at Texas State University in San Marcos. I'm also a former public school teacher, a former school board trustee, a father of a college-age daughter who was educated in Texas public schools. In short, I am personally and professionally a supporter of public education. The research we're presenting to you today should make something very clear. Texas is failing families when it comes to sexuality education. Far too many of our classrooms are perpetuating a conspiracy of silence that robs young people of the reliable and accurate information and skills they need to make responsible life decisions. But as Kathy said, what Texas students aren't learning is only part of the problem. In district after district, our research revealed that abstinence-only programs dominating Texas secondary classrooms are plagued with blatant factual errors, which is our third key finding. And I don't just mean a few errors. As a parent, I sent my daughter to school to learn facts about math, history, and health. So I'm sure it will alarm many parents to know that we were able to document factual errors in curriculum materials. 41% of Texas school districts have a factual error. That's almost half, folks. The most common factual errors involve claims that condoms are virtually useless in preventing pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases. One program even absurdly suggested that the failure rate is as high as 50%, a statistic that has absolutely no basis in fact at all. One student exercise, for example, says telling students that condoms provide protection is like saying, and I quote, "elbow pads will protect you if you jump off a bridge." A number of abstinence-only programs also repeat the decades-old falsehood that HIV is so small that it passes through a condom. One program tells students, and I quote, "any imperfections in the contraceptive not visible to the eye could allow sperm, STD, or HIV to pass through the latex. If a sperm cell can get through, how much more can the HIV virus, which is only 1/450th the size of sperm?" End quote. This kind of reckless statements define all reliable public health advice and information and send a very clear message to sexually active young people. And that message is there's no point in using condoms as protection. Let me be clear. I want my daughter and all other young people to know about the dangers of STDs and unintended pregnancies. But building education programs on mistruths, half-truths, and distortions is simply dangerous and counterproductive. Most of these mistruths share a common purpose and a likely effect, and that is discouraging young people who might already be sexually active from using condoms, a message that I find shocking as a professional health educator, a father, and a taxpayer living in a state with one of the highest teen birth rates. In addition to blatant factual errors, there are countless examples of student exercises and presentations that unwisely rely on shame and fear as instructional strategies, which is our fourth key finding. Typically, this strategy links sexual activity with social misfits, disease, and often suicide and death. One curriculum teaches students that sexually active young people are damaged and contaminated. One school district tells students, and I quote, "for young people to engage in sex now is like playing Russian roulette with all but one chamber full." Like most parents, I want my daughter to know that real life decisions have real life consequences. Absolutely no one is discounting that message. However, I'm appalled by the over-the-top emphasis that abstinence-only programs place upon linking sex to disease, death, shame, guilt, and embarrassment. Given that puberty, questions about one's sexuality, handling relationships, and the like are normal and expected stages of adolescent growth and development, such negative messages do not help youth grow into healthy, well-adjusted adults. These examples are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to bad information in Texas sexuality education materials. This report documents in detail dozens and dozens of examples like these, many of them far worse, from school districts all over the state. We would not permit this sort of inaccurate information in a mathematics or history class. We should expect the same standard for health education classes in Texas public schools.